welcome. It's your girl Brianka J. Today I'm going to be talking about Patricia Bright's Heart and Hustle. I read it this week and I want to share my thoughts on it. But before we get started, if this is your first time on the channel, I want to ask you to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And it's very simple to participate. It will cost you nothing. It will not hurt. All you have to do is press the little red button in the corner. That's it. It's painless, I promise. Okay, so what you came for. Patricia Bright's Heart and Hustle. The book is cool. It's cool. So if you don't know who Patricia Bright is, let me start there. Patricia Bright is a YouTuber with over like 2 million subscribers. She started out just doing hair and fashion, and over time, through consistency, through work, she was able to amass like makeup collaborations, her own book, fashion line, just a hair company, a lot of things. She became like this conglomerate and an entrepreneur, and it started off with her telling us and walking us through the process. So for that, I think it's very awesome for young women who need that extra boost of confidence to feel like they are able to accomplish things, to see another woman do it, a beautiful woman do it, and to break down those stereotypes that beautiful women can also be smart or academic. She really, through her work and through her story, she breaks down a lot of those misconceptions and stereotypes about women and about beautiful women for sure, because we all know that the common trope with a beautiful woman is that she's not going to be that bright. What we find out from Patricia Bright's story, she's very bright, she's very strategic, and she knows exactly what she's doing from the back end and the front end. She also really tries to encourage young women to, of course, lean into the table, save their money, just a lot of different things. So she walks us through not only what it is to be an influencer, but what it is to be a modern day woman. So this book is actually really awesome for a lot of different reasons. I found to be the most interesting aspect of her work actually came at the beginning when she tells her origin story. She talks about being a child of immigrant parents and the way it helped shape her character. She tells the story about her father got deported and her mother working like 3 or 4 jobs and launching her own company, and how her and her sister were able to model a particular level of work ethic and a particular level of faith and the future because of those early struggles in her life. She also talks about growing up with not having many resources and not being the prettiest girl, or things that I think a lot of teenage girls often go through, and how they try to measure themselves based on what other people think. And she talks about overcoming those things that were disturbing her self-confidence, things that were making it difficult for her to love herself. She talks about the different things she has done in her life to overcome those issues and to be a more confident woman, and how that confidence has translated into a $1 million empire. So for that, I think that any girl 13 earliest should be reading this book, like should be building onto those, to that that arsenal of people to look up to and to believe in and to look at. Because I think one thing that definitely happens with young women, especially young women of color, is that when you look around, I know for me growing up, it wasn't a lot of women around that I could say this is where I want to be or who I want to be like. And so when people tell their story, like Patricia Bright told her story, she helps to empower these women. And I think that because of her youth, she shows that there's very little standing in our way other than ourselves. So I think that for young ladies, I think that Patricia Bright's Hustle and Heart is an excellent book to be looking at. I think that this book overall is going to be one of those books that fits in more self-help than business, actually. Like, though she starts off very keyed in on business ideas and keyed in on ideas for business to empower your business, a lot of her essential strategies that she talks about really come from like working on self and doing the self work. So I say that this is one of those books that is business but also can very subgenre fit into the idea of self-help. The plot in itself was very structured, and that's almost the problem. That's almost the problem. So the problem with the book, let's be 100, because no book is perfect, okay? So one thing I did not like is when I was reading her book, it was just like books I have read from Amazon before. And I mean that to talk like very, very specific. It is the exact same structure as Rachel Hollis's Girl Wash Your Face and her husband David Hollis's book, which I forgot the name of it. I didn't even finish reading that one because like the structure stays the same. Her talking points from section to section is because I have read these types of books before. I knew exactly what was coming. No, I didn't know her personal story, but the structure had no creativity. I felt like it was overly edited, and I just felt like it took away from what we love about Patricia Bright, the influencer, Patricia Bright, the YouTuber, and it became a carbon copy book that has been sold and resold with different faces and different covers through millennia. And that's boring. The style, the elements of style was there, like the writing style was there, like all the carpentry things that you expect from a writer was there. Was her personality there? Hell no. No, because the book became so over edited through the editing process. Whoever she worked with over at Amazon or whomever, they have a distinct formula for self-help. And this really helps with writers who don't necessarily think that they're writers by nature, or people that don't believe like they can do it on their own. But what happens when you use these formulaic ways is that you almost rip out your own soul from the work. So even though it was told, like she read the story in her voice, it was a lot of times that I thought about Rachel Hollis's book or David Hollis's book, simply because whoever edited this work used the exact same style from a lot of different self-help books, and that is really boring. And I think that anybody that's familiar with her via her YouTube page or through her Instagram or her social media will say, yes, this is a very different voice and tone than I'm used to receiving. She does a very good job of sharing information on all her platforms, and the book is no different. She shares information, she does that well. But what I think stole from some of the greatness of the work is that her voice was lost in translation between writing and editing, and that's so disappointing. And it's also a lot of the reasons I think people don't give books by celebrities or by popular figures a chance, because they know that the work won't really come from the author itself, but will go through a lot of different hands, and by the end of it you get a carbon copy work that you've read time and time again, and you didn't get to hear from the person you were trying to hear from. So for me, though I think that the book was well done, it's also been done many times before, and I can get a lot more information from her with a lot more personality and fun through her YouTube page for free. So overall, I wasted $15, because not only was most of this stuff already said through many of her YouTube stories, it also is told in a way where she's not holding back or trying to punch in information like an ad lib. And hey, it depends on what you love, but if you're an avid reader, I would say like most of this information you're going to get from our YouTube page in a lot better format, and that's it. Now, if you want to give it to a younger girl who just needs to be empowered, needs to know that she can overcome anything, yes, get this book, give it to your nieces. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the little jump they need to know that they can do anything as well, and maybe she'll have another fan. Like, that's important too. But overall, I was just disappointed that it was a carbon copy of things I've read time and time again. That's my review. Tell me what you think about Hustle and Heart. Tell me what books you're reading right now, and I'm listening. So we can talk about this more in the comment box. If you disagree with me, let me know, and let me know why. It's Brianka J. Again, if you enjoy this channel and you enjoy what I have to say, don't hesitate to hit the little red button in the corner. It really helps me out. I totally appreciate it. Give this a thumbs up or a thumbs down, however you feel. This feedback also helps me out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. As you may know, I am Brianka J. If it's your first time here, I want to thank you so much for coming. Welcome. Thank you for blah 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 blah. Whatever. Anyway, look. Hey guys, welcome. It's your girl. Hey guys.